and welcome to another episode of the Bearded Goods Podcast. My name is Brandon Smith. Today, I'm joined by a great friend of mine. His name is Max Foell. Max is one of the most genuine, honest people I have ever met. You know where you stand with him. If you've ever met him and he likes you, you're in his heart, you're in his place forever. He'll go out of his way to help you. Just an all-around, genuine, good person. I really feel like it comes through with what we talked about this week. So, right now, he actually brought me over some donuts. If you want to know the way to my heart, it's definitely food. So he brought over some donuts. We're going to sit down and start talking. I love donuts. I didn't get this big by not liking donuts. You stopped by Duck Donuts?
Yeah, man.
Oh, donuts are good.
So that one, there's a couple of them in here that are like specific to Halloween.
Yeah?
I think that one's one.
Ooh.
That one's one. That one's just maple bacon, raspberry. I did peanut butter with bacon, dude. Peanut butter bacon is delicious.
Is it?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yep. Oh, I brought us something else.
Some moist towelettes. Well, thank you, sir. So I appreciate you coming, though, man.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I wouldn't miss it. I love hanging out with you. I haven't seen you in forever. Life gets in the way, you know?
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. I know exactly how that is. So, you got a new house?
I did. I got a new house. It was a little bittersweet, man, moving from, the house that I built 20 years ago.
Yeah, because you actually built that one, didn't you?
Yeah. In my past life.
Fix this thing up here. Because you did construction, right?
I did.
That's when I met you. You were doing that.
Yep. I did construction, for what, 16, 18 years, something like that.
Yeah. You were you GC? Did you have your general contractor's license?
My dad had.
Your dad had it?
My dad had
operated
license.
under his?
Yeah.
And then that. So you went from that, then you went to you went back to school, didn't you?
I did, man. I went back to school. Went to Wake Tech, kind of matriculated to Shaw University, then moved from Shaw University to Penn State Online.
Penn State Online.
Yeah.
And what do you do now again?
So I work at I'll just say a local software company.
Yeah. We don't have to put any names out there.
A local software company, downtown Raleigh. It's a cool gig. It's nice. I work on the global side, so I have a couple of people within each region kind of roll up to me, and it's general BA work. I'll just say, it's just like business analysis type work. But it goes farther than that.
Hey man, as long as you're enjoying it, it got you out of being outside and stuff.
Honestly, I miss being outside, man.
Dude, I'm outside now, and I spent like the last 10 years behind a desk.
Yeah.
I'm outside now, and I absolutely love being outside, and I love the minimal contact with people.
Yeah.
Like I don't have to deal with people on a day-to-day basis. That makes me so much happier. I didn't realize how much like dealing with other people being upset for some reason. Like when I came from doing towing and stuff, I wasn't out in the field, but like I would answer the phone, and anytime somebody calls you, they're not in a good mood.
Right.
Their car just broke down, or their tire just blew out, or they just got into an
worst.
It's like the worst. Yeah, it's their worst day.
Yeah.
And you'll get some people that are just absolutely hysterical and cannot keep it together at all, and they'll be crying. I'm like, all right, calm down. It's gonna be fine. It's just a flat tire. Oh, I gotta make it to him.
But you can't tell them
it's not the end of the world. $100, and then you tow and you're back on the road.
Right.
I mean, it's not the cheapest day for you, but it's not going to be the end of the world.
You have a story at the end of the day.
Right. At least you got something to tell.
Yep.
Your car ever break down?
Come on, man. I grew up pretty poor, so yeah, it broke down quite a bit.
Yeah, we both did, dude. What was your first car?
Actually, it was a 1979 Datsun 510, so it wasn't even a cool one. Was it a 510 or a 210?
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Dude, it's well, first of all, it broke out Datsun.
Well, I mean, Datsun's not necessarily bad. I drove my first car was a 1989 Honda Civic sedan. Right. So it's like the boxiest style you can get. It's a sedan, so it's not cool. And I didn't get my license till I was 18, but I think I made payments on it. I paid a guy $1,000 for it. Mm-hmm. It had under 100,000 miles on it, which was great.
That is good.
But it did have a hole in the top of the gas tank. Mm-hmm. So whenever you would drive, it'd smell like gas. And I would never fill it all the way up. I'd always have to put like 3/4 of a tank.
Well, that's where you throw your cigarette butts.
Yeah, right. Back in those days, the 3/4 of a tank was like $7. I know. And back in those days.
And we were still scrounging out. Like,
we're still complaining. I remember when gas went over $1 a gallon, I was like, this is getting ridiculous. And then it got to $2, and I was like, I'm not driving anymore. Now I'm paying $3 a gallon every time I go.
Yep, easily.
But The Datsun. Yeah. So me and a buddy of mine.
Well, how long did you keep that car?
I kept that car for a couple of years. I ended up, that was my, hey, I'm gonna race this thing out kind of car. You know what I mean? Like,
I remember that.
Yeah. I had those days. I had those days, but
I kept mine for 30 days to the day.
30 days.
And then
Wow.
I totaled it.
Wow. I had it for a while. You said it was a 510?
Yeah.
I think this thing listens to me.
It's either a 510 or a 210. It was that was it.
Oh, is that it?
That's it.
Dude, you know what would be really awesome to have that thing now?
Yeah.
And put like a 350 in it.
It was really light. I mean, it was fantastic on gas.
It looks similar to like the old BMWs.
Yeah.
It looks kind of similar to those.
They actually, you see what they're doing right there. I mean, they kind of make these collectible now.
Yeah, I'm sure yours didn't look like this one.
Oh, hell no. It was like beige and
He was like, it was like the
beige
grandpa
and tan.
color.
I think that was the color scheme. Beige.
Oh, look, there
and
it is,
tan.
I think.
So it's beige and another color of beige.
another shade of beige.
Yeah.
So anyway, we had my buddy, God, I can't remember how old. I was probably just 18, maybe 19. Mm-hmm. And good for it.
No,
whatever one you want.
Which one I want.
And my buddy was like, hey, I got to go up to Minnesota to pick up a car.
Right.
Because my grandmother's giving it to me because she doesn't need it anymore. My grandmother and grandfather decided they were going to get rid of it. He was like, I was like, all right, I'm not going to pass up an opportunity for like the possibility of like a good story or like a trip or something. I've always loved road trips.
Right.
So it started off interesting anyway because nobody was going that way. I don't think we didn't have a car to drive up there, and we didn't want to drive 2 cars back.
Right.
We didn't have the money to fly. And we didn't really want to do a train because I don't think a train was like crazy to get there.
Right.
So we did Greyhound bus. Dude. Took a Greyhound bus from Raleigh to Chicago. All right.
So Lucifer was on one side. I mean, that had to be the worst trip, man.
Oh, it was horrible, dude. Well, first off, it was a local bus, so it took us 6 hours to get out of North Carolina. Then it broke down, so we had to switch buses in the middle of the night. I was the last person to get onto another bus that was coming through there, so I had like no seats. And bless this lady, she's this big.
You're lucky you're a small guy.
Well, yeah, totally. I'm totally small guy. I was a small guy at that time too, because I've always been tiny. There was, bless her heart, there was this big lady, and she was taking up about a seat and a half, and I was too tired to care at all. I just didn't care. Like I think I had my book bag. I didn't have enough room to sit all the way on the seat, so I had like my book bag wedged between me and the seat in front of me, so I could pin myself, and I just put my head down, my ass cheek hanging off, and I slept for the rest of the way up to Chicago. But we got
half of your ass too.
Yeah. It was definitely sleep. So we got into Chicago, and from there, we met up with his grandfather, who's a truck driver. Okay. So he's got a load in Chicago that's got to go back to Minnesota. So we planned up to meet him there. And he's got a sleeper cab tractor trailer. Right. So we get out of there. So now we're in the sleeper cab part of a tractor trailer going from there up to Minnesota. And I mean, the whole trip was fun. The guy was awesome. But we ended up being back to the Datsun. We picked up a Datsun Nissan 280Z.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was a 280. Had the fins in the back.
280 or 240. What year was it?
Oh, gosh. I think it might have been the 280. I don't know. We can look that up, too.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it was the 280. But anyway, we had to hop in that and drive that back. It was fun.
That's a cramped little car, too. I tell you what, I bet you had a better time in that damn sleeper cab than you did on the bus.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh, for sure. Definitely did.
So, tell me, like, I know you're, like, outside now.
Yeah.
What's different? Besides the people.
What's different about, like, the stuff I have to deal with? It's just, there's not as much. Like, it's all very much so localized to what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And it's not, you don't have to worry about, well, you do, but to some degree, but you don't have to worry about what everybody else is doing. Right. Because that doesn't necessarily directly affect what you're doing that day.
You're there to do your task.
Right. I'm there to do that. And then if I handle that and as problems arise, I solve those problems, or I find out how to solve those problems, and I move on. But, like, from the difference between that and what I was doing was I was solving everybody else's problems all the time. Mm-hmm. And now I get to just solve my own.
That's awesome.
And that's it, you know? And, it's nice, man. Like, 'cause, yeah, there's shitty days. There's days where it's super hot out and you don't want to be out there and you're swinging an axe cutting trees down.
Sure.
But then there's also days where it's like 65 and you're out in the field and there's like nice and beautiful, like looks like the computer background picture. You know what I mean? That's what it looks like out there. So picturesque. It's nice. Yeah. And you take the good with the bad, but the good definitely outweighs the bad at this job.
You seem really happy.
I'm a lot happier. This job affords me time and so much less stress to do. Like I can come in here and I can have you come over and we can sit down and do this, and I can go do comedy on the side, and I can be a dad again. You know what I mean? Like it's great. I love it. I love that aspect of it. I don't like working for people though. I never have, but that doesn't change anywhere I go. You know, it's just something I have to learn to
play
do.
the lottery.
I absolutely play the lottery. I did the so I messed up. I got a ticket for me and Jenny, and I didn't get the Mega Millions. I got the Powerball.
Oh geez, that's what.
Oh gee, it was like 470 million. I was like, oh no, I messed up. And while I was texting her that I messed up, I sat there and I was thinking, I was like, dude, you didn't mess up. Either one of these is going to change your life. I didn't win 700 million. I only won 280 million. Fuck off.
You know, it kills me. All right, so that brings up a good point. So, you know, I think it starts off at like 40 or 50 million or whatever it is now.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, I'm not going to play it till it hits, 200 million or 250 million. I don't get that. I was like, you know what? If you're going to be in it the entire time.
Time.
Yeah, I mean, because, what? If I won 40 million, it's not like I couldn't still do what I wanted to do.
Right? Like I wouldn't, Yeah, I mean,
don't get me wrong. $1.6 billion right now.
Yeah, that's what I've actually.
That's a little mind-boggling.
Yeah, it is a little mind-boggling. I actually bought some tickets this morning for that one.
Did you? Oh, yeah. I'll be buying some more. I
still have
to win with a guy at work.
You gotta play to win.
Yep.
And you can't win if you're not playing.
Yep.
So might as well. I mean, I've spent $10 on worse stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
I already did today.
Yeah, you definitely spent more than $10 bringing these donuts here. But
they're delicious.
yeah, they are delicious.
But now, so what would you do? I mean, would you continue to work? Would you stay here?
Dude, see, it's very easy to say all that, like what you would do when you don't have it.
Right.
You know, ultimately what I would like to do, let's just say, Jesus Christ, if I won that many millions of dollars, that'd be insane. My life would change completely. Absolutely. And I probably would not be right here.
Right.
But if we're talking like more realistic, like if I won like a realistic number, I'd probably just pay the house off, be the first thing I'd do. I'd be really responsible with it at first. Yep. And like that way I get my responsibility out of the way, and I could set myself up to be a fucktard with it. Yep. You know what I mean?
Well, I guess it depends on where you are in your life. Like right now, I'm a little bit farther along.
Yeah,
I don't have kids at home anymore.
That's true. You don't. I do, and I would go crazy.
You got to worry about college.
Yeah, see, I would set all that stuff up, and then obviously I'd set my friends up with some money. There's just I couldn't do that. I couldn't win that much money. It's different when I think when you earn it, like when you out there and you busted your ass and earned that money, to give your friends money is different. Yep. But when you come across hundreds of millions of dollars, it'd be a dick move to come over to your house, and be like, "Hey, how's it going?"
Hey, it's BYOB, by the way.
Yeah, it's BYOB. And we just did pay the power bill to get the power back on so we can watch football today. So, come on over. Yeah, sure. Let me drive up in my Bugatti.
I mean, to kind of dovetail onto that, man, it's people are like, well, I give money to charity, and I mean, I probably would do that as well. But what's more valuable than the monetary value of money is people's time and people's effort. And I would absolutely love to take the skills that I've built upon throughout my life, and Habitat, or my people skills with hospice, or children's hospitals. I would love to do that. Those are the type of things that I want to do. And Jen, she wants to do like an animal sanctuary, because she just has a soft spot for animals now.
Oh yeah.
And I think doing something like that and getting people engaged to do that as well, not just doing it out on my own, because I don't feel like one person is one person's effort, but if you can get two people, and those two people can get another one or two people, and you kind of start building an army at that point. And that's when changes and that's when movements happen.
Yeah.
And, I think
you can hashtag it. Get shot by the cops.
But I mean, honestly, man, thinking about doing little things like that, I think it changes people's lives. And, the older I get, the more I want to make an impact past my lifespan. And
that hit me when I had kids.
Yeah, absolutely. And I look at that like with Lane at this point, and it's funny because we were talking about our last name and just how that's going to be passed along through the generations. Because right now, Lane's almost 25. He doesn't have any kids. I know.
Hold on.
I know.
Hold on a second. He's almost 25?
Almost 25. Yeah.
Golly, man.
Yeah, he's actually getting ready to get out of the Air Force.
I remember picking that kid up from middle school.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know. That shows how old us bitches are.
I got one that's sitting there in the living room right now in first grade.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? I remember. Well, hell, I remember long before you guys were ever.
Yeah, you remember all that.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it's just your perception on things change the older you get, and getting back to carrying on the name. That's it's never been something that's really been something I really thought about. But my mom and my dad specifically on his side, he has 4 brothers, and I'm sitting here thinking about the kids that they have, and I have one male cousin with the last name of Foell, and I was like, wow, that's putting a lot of pressure on him to carry on the name. And my brother, he's in his mid-30s, and he just had the one daughter right now. Mm-hmm. He is having a second one. He's going to have a Holland Jr. So I was like, all right, there's 2 chances. And I'm looking at Lane. I'm like, Lane, get your shit together.
Come on, buddy. We got to get something going here.
Well, I mean, believe me, I'm not in any rush to be a granddad right now.
Oh, man. You as a grandfather.
Could you imagine that shit?
Our next 10 years of our lives are going to be very interesting.
Dude, I still like
I'm going to have a teenager. You're probably going to get a grandchild. Oh,
I couldn't imagine that, man. Yeah, but, it's just legacy type stuff, and being impactful for generations. And it's not selfish per se. It's just I want to be an agent of change. And
I would love to view myself, like, look back and be able to say that I was able to do all that stuff, and money would definitely afford that.
Yeah,
because right now I feel like a pull and a want to give and be a part of something. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I can't afford to take time off of what I do to do it. So, yeah, I mean, I get that totally. Yeah. I'd definitely like to give back and be a part of the community. And but there's a lot of people that help me along the way. I wouldn't be where I'm at without help of other people. So I'd love to be able to help other people to see what they can do.
Man, my story about being a single father and everything. I mean, if I didn't have help along the way, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean,
be close to where
that's an interesting story too, because that doesn't happen too often. You don't see a lot of dads end up with custody and having the opportunity to raise their kid. And I think you did a great job.
I appreciate that. Sometimes I look at Lane and I wonder.
Oh, dude, I look at London like almost every night. I'm like, I'm fucking this kid up. Yeah. Like I'm messing her up, some kind of crazy, and then you don't, and you're like, okay, I'm doing something right, because like she's in there playing with her little sister and helping her out, and she's London's 6, my youngest one's 1. Yeah. So there's a huge age difference, but she's so sweet with her. Yeah. And just like how she just picks up the cat even. She's just a nice kid, man.
There's something to be said about that, man, because there's a lot of people that are really intelligent or really driven, but they don't have the interpersonal skills. They don't have the compassion, the humanity that it takes to be just a good person.
Yeah.
And so for my example, it's the same type of thing. I look at Lane and, he's kind of going all over the place, not exactly sure where he wants to go in life. And I get that. I mean, he's been in the military for 6 years.
I've been in my 20s.
Yeah.
So, plus he's had military. Exactly. He's in 6 years already? Yep, I remember when he gets sent off.
I know.
God, you got to stop talking about him.
I cried like a little baby. I know.
I'm going to do this every time you bring him up. Like, I remember when... Yep.
Yeah, man, you're gonna see him. It's amazing. So he's gonna. I just broke something.
No, you're good.
Yeah, he's gonna get out, and he's got a girlfriend now. She lives in, I think, North Dakota.
Really?
Yeah.
They meet in the military?
No, they met online. Like
online,
the modern way.
Yeah, the modern way.
The modern way.
We're like, you got to meet in person. There ain't no way to do it other than meeting in person no more.
I tell you what, the first time and I'm not that much older than Lane. I was 5 when I had him.
Right.
but I mean, the first time I realized that there was the generation gap between Lane and myself was when I said, and this is when he was in middle school, and he didn't have a cell phone yet, because I firmly believe that people need to earn.
Oh, for sure.
They're not just given things.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like he had earned it yet. And I was like, well, why don't you just call your friends? He looked at me and said, Dad, we don't call. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, we text. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense to me. You're not talking to somebody.
Yeah.
But that's how they communicate. And that kind of leads into something else that I was talking about earlier, was just an interpersonal communication. In the corporate workplace right now, with the younger generation coming in and a different way of communicating, that interpersonal skill, like you and I sitting across from each other, making eye contact, longingly, and want to caress your beard. And...
Don't make me take my hair down.
No, don't do that.
We'll have to mute this podcast.
but those are the type of things that are kind of getting lost now. And so I'm mentoring
as a sidebar on that, I think that's why podcasts are taking off so much.
Yeah.
People don't have this like normal everyday conversations with people. Like it's all broken up by looking down at your phone and all that stuff. And I'm not trying to sound like an old guy, but there is something to be said about sitting down and having a personal conversation with somebody.
Well, and it kind of gets back to the whole mindfulness and everything else. It's like big fucking words right now. But there really is something to be said about. Are you taking gotta cut that
I
out,
keep little notes. I got you a little notepad there too, because I don't know about you, but I lose track in conversations and I'll sidebar and I'll forget what we were talking about.
Those are the best conversations.
Yeah, but then when you go back and you listen to it as a listener, you're like, well, what happened to that story?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Well,
so
that means to be continued next time. So
right.
This time it's dudes and donuts. Next time it'll be dads and donuts.
Oh, dads and donuts. We gotta get one other person here. Jordan needs to have a kid. No. Jordan, if you're listening, we love you, buddy. Just not right now. He's got a lot of good stuff going on.
Dude, he does. Right, I'm super psyched for him.
I'm super stoked for him.
We'll get back to the other story, but no.
Sorry, this is what happens.
Exactly. But talking about Jordan and Beth, man, it's just I'm really excited for them. I'm trying to get them out in my neighborhood as much as I can. I mean, what I want to do is build a commune. Like in my neighborhood, man, where it's like everybody I know.
So what city is it that you live in?
It's Wendell.
Wendell?
Yeah, it's 20 minutes to downtown, man. It's perfect.
Yeah, maybe in like 15 years, 20 years, if you guys are still out there, and my kids are at least through high school.
I don't see myself going anywhere, man. I really dig it.
I love our spot, and we mainly got this spot because of the kids.
Yeah,
like the house isn't the size that necessarily we wanted.
It's an awesome neighborhood.
But for the price. You could get a lot more somewhere else, but it's the intangibles.
Oh, yeah.
The school district, the fact that she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kids that live around us that she can go play with at any given time. Yep. And it's just great. It's a good neighborhood. Like Halloween's coming up, and it's going to be like I always tell people it's like out of the movie E.T.
Yeah.
When they're all running around, there's like packs of kids everywhere. Mm-hmm. It's like that. So I'll dress up like a king and I'll walk around.
That's fantastic.
Take her out walking.
So to kind of touch on that and to getting back to where we
get back to
from.
Lane.
Getting back to Lane. Well, just like how he grew up.
Yeah, texting.
Well, we're done with texting. We're just he texts. I didn't understand it, but now I text and that's it. But kind of getting back to that, man. It's we grew up in the country. I mean, it was rural Wake County, and he had friends that lived around him, but it was still. I mean, it was a hike. He had to get on his bike, and it was like a 20-minute bike ride.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like that where we live now. And, I kind of feel bad.
You feel bad that
he didn't have that
It's that parent guilt.
Yeah, yeah.
You instantly, as soon as your kid's born, it's like you have this wave of guilt wash over you, and you're like, I've done something wrong. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But, you haven't. I mean, I provided the best I could.
No. But like you instantly, like I remember when London was born, and it was like the first month or first week or so, and sitting there, and you're just looking at her, and you look her in the face, and you're like, man, why didn't I do this when I was growing up? Yeah. Why didn't I do that? And you start questioning every bad decision you've ever made. And then you can find yourself in a loophole going, you're sitting there crying and you're rocking with her going to sleep. And you're like, I'm so sorry. And she's like, I don't care, man. Feed me. Just put me in the crib. I'm good to go. Let's start this new journey.
How they look up at you sometimes, man, it just kind of melts your heart. And
oh, God, yeah, I'll tear up. Man, I've become such a pansy.
I have too.
Oh, can you watch TV without crying anymore? Because I can't.
This Is Us and a million little things.
Oh, I can't watch this. I started off watching This Is Us with Jenny, and I watched, I think, like the first season and a half, and I think like halfway through that season, I just got up there in episodes like, I can't do this. I was like, I can't face my emotions that much all the time.
There's another one. I think it's on ABC called A Million Little Things. I think it's what it's called.
Yeah.
It's about these 4 best friends. And one of them committed suicide.
Oh, God.
And if you're thinking about suicide, please call your suicide prevention hotline.
Yes, call them.
Absolutely.
I wish I had the number super handy.
Yeah, well, yeah. That's a story for another day.
Yeah, right. You're supposed to be lighthearted.
Man, I tell you what, I watch that show and I cry every freaking time because there's this thing growing up in the South, and you probably ran into the same thing, and you and Jordan had a little bit different
blatant racism.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Well, no, that's there too. And that's still actually, it's gotten a lot worse. But
it does. Anyway, continue.
But I mean, the bond, the friendship between to males is something that just isn't nurtured or talked about very often.
Oh, dude, down here it's like frowned on.
It is.
It's like everything's looked at through the glass of like of religion.
Yep.
Down here, everything is looked at that way, and it sucks. I've become going back to what you were saying when we won the lottery and doing all that stuff about being age gives you life perspective. I found myself now being so much more just like happy with who I am because I've been able to reach out and talk to people who I was sheltered from. Like I said on the last one, I was talking to Byron and I told him I wasn't necessarily sheltered, but culturally sheltered, I believe I was. And that wasn't by any like choice of my parent. But that was just because we didn't have money to go do anything. We lived where we lived, and I saw what I saw, and the experiences is what I experienced. But as I got older, and you break away from all the things that that keep you like chained to like your house, you know what I mean? And you start asking questions, meeting new people, and going, "Hey, this person's not bad just because they like another dude. Like he's not a bad person." Like, and I feel shame. I feel bad that I ever felt that way. But at the same time, I'm really happy I was able to see it, overcome it, and now it's a thing of my past, and now I can pass on, you know, hey, I've been there. Don't do that. Right. You know, it's better to be this way. Yep. So, but I'm enjoying that as I'm getting older. The whole life perspective and just changing everything, like your whole outlook on everything. Yep. Like I just try and be happier, be nicer every day. Yep. Instead of being a dick.
I tried to do that as well, and kind of like what you're talking about and having a podcast and everything else. I try to have at least one conversation with somebody that I don't know, even if it's just a couple of words exchanged, between each other. Like I sit on my front porch now. People walk their dogs or they're walking by with their strollers and their kids and, just strike up, hey, how you doing? Something, a pleasantry. You don't know how much a random pleasantry in somebody's day can change their outlook.
It's so true. Yep. Just you weren't expecting like a door held for you. Yeah. Or even as a guy, it's nice to have that done. Yeah. But the door held for you or somebody saying hey or just a friendly smile.
God forbid they don't say fucking thank you though. Yeah.
All right, my biggest pet peeve while driving is if I'm letting you over, throw up that hand. Just throw it up.
A little hand in the back.
You motherfuckers, throw up that hand. I don't... Because then what you're doing is you're ruining it for everybody else. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, I am, but you're making me do it in my head.
I know, and it'll set me off sometimes. Man.
Oh my God.
I ran into that a couple times on the way here today.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but the highway, it's 70 miles an hour. There's a little bit of wind out there, so people are maybe going a little bit, but it's 3 wide, 55 miles an hour and a 70.
Why?
Why?
I don't understand. As soon as if you listen to this anywhere else, you're not going to know what the hell I'm talking about. But as soon as I'm on 540 and as I come past Creedmoor Road towards my house, every time it slows down. Like people be going 70 in the slow lane, like just cruising, and then as soon as you pass Creedmoor Road and you get towards Leesville, they drop down to like 55 miles an hour.
It's a weird bottleneck.
And I'm like, I don't understand it. Like I don't get it. It's the same amount of lanes. We're just, I don't know.
I ran into that every day on my way to RTP.
Yeah.
When I worked out in Durham. Yeah. Horrible.
I'll work out there now. The drive out there in the morning's not so bad.
Well, from here it's not that bad.
No, it's not bad at all. I can actually hit back roads. And
you probably leave pretty early.
Yeah, I try and leave my house about between 6:15 and 6:30. 6:30 is late. 6:40, I'll still make it to work on time, but I'm running in that door.
That's early.
Yeah.
That's damn early.
Yeah. Yeah. But it used to be earlier than that. No, I lied because I had to be at my old job at 7. I think I would leave here at like 6:50 some morning. But it gets to the point, in some places where your drive is gone and you're just trying to get through. Yeah. And that's kind of where I hit. And it wasn't fair to my employer. It wasn't fair to myself. You know what I mean? I was still doing my job and doing my job to the best of my ability, but I wasn't giving it all I had.
There's something to be said about being passionate about everything that you do, or anything, not everything, but anything that you do. I like to be passionate about what I do. Sometimes it's damn hard, but I when I come home at the end of the day and look in the mirror, I want to know that it wasn't a wasted day. I feel like our lives are too short. I mean, there's a finite amount of time that we have on this world that we can take advantage of it. And if you have any regret, there are things that you want to do differently, and I absolutely get that and understand that. But I don't ever want to regret something because I feel like regret is just going to be wasted time.
Yeah. Everything's broken down into, when you think back on your life, like you think about the day, like today's going to take 24 hours to go through. But when you think back about today, you're going to remember donuts and how awesome the Bearded Goods Brandon Smith is.
Right. Right.
That's all you're going to remember about today. But no, but seriously, when you look back on your life, it's all moments. And if you're filling your moments, your moment to moment life with nothing but negativity and bad and hate and like, just remembering focusing on the wrong things, that's all you're ever going to remember. If you look back and you try and focus on the good and remember the good times and the happy times, and you're creating those type of memories around you and with the aura that you put out and the type of personality you bring to the table, then you're not going to look back and have regret and stuff. Like, there'll be stuff you wish you did, but I don't feel like you'll feel that ultimate regret. I
think, actually this conversation's timely because over the last, so the whole house moving process took its toll on both myself and Jen and collectively. Because we started the process at the end of February and basically we just moved in 6 weeks ago. I mean,
that's a long time to be dealing with.
It is. And, through that time, I think I lost my way. I lost who I was to a certain extent. And what I've tried to do is reset over the last couple weeks or so. And I'm trying to look at everything in a little bit more and respond in a little bit more of a logical manner. There were times where I would just let my emotions get the best of me, and Jen and I have had this conversation quite a bit. Love you, hon. And it just wasn't the best of me. And I'm really trying to get back to that. I like being a smiley person. I like being a happy person. I like having conversations with people that I don't know because I learn more about life through other people's conversations than I ever will through a book or through any website or anything.
Absolutely. That's part of the reason why I wanted to do this is to have people come in and sit down. And I like to hear people's stories because you can draw off of their experiences. You can learn off of their mistakes. People think you can't. Like when your parents tell you, you learn from my mistakes, do as I say, not as I do. Right. Oh, they were right.
Yeah.
But
I mean, do you know
sometimes you got to get your hands dirty.
Like the whole backstory about like kind of how I grew up and
I don't know. Like I don't want to dive into stuff if you're not comfortable having everybody.
My life's an open book, man.
That's how I feel too. But I try and give the common courtesy and respect not to pry too deep. Plus, last time I did a briefing like right before we started. So, but I didn't do that this time because I know you very well. So it's I just jumped right in. We just hit record.
I thought it was awesome. The way you started it. I mean, it's completely off the cuff, which is perfect.
Dude, that's, I have like some segments I think I want to plan out and do. And we might try one out today. Yeah. But, nothing major. I've got a hotline. I want people to call in and, leave messages and stuff. I'm going to put that up at the end. I was like 919-521-8935. Sweet. 919-521-8935. Hit that hotline.
We need to do a jingle on that.
Yeah, right. And that's for really when I get to go live. Yeah. Like I'm going to get the whole thing set up where you can do video and everything.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, moving took its toll on you.
Oh, well, which part took its toll on? Oh, just moving. Yeah. I'm just trying to be a better person now. I'm trying to take a step back from my life. And I try to do this, every few months or so, but to see kind of how I've progressed as a person. And I feel like that's what's made me a better person throughout my life. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was pretty shitty, in my teen years.
I think we all
I did a lot of things. And honestly, I'm surprised that I'm even sitting here at this point. But when I was younger, my mom and dad were really young when they had both me and my sister. My brother was a little bit later on, and they were a little bit more mature in their relationship. But growing up, when I say we were poor, I mean, everybody's had, food stamps, assistance, and everything else. But my dad bought two single wide trailers, dilapidated, like on the verge of being condemned, and moved them to the trailer park and put them together to make a double wide for us.
Heard that.
Yeah. Prior to that, we lived in a one-bedroom.
Welcome to the South.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. I still drive through that trailer park on occasion just to kind of get some perspective.
Yeah, I grew up in a trailer park. I grew up in a lot of trailer parks. I did a lot of moving around, but I know what it's like. I know what it's like being able to ride by where you grew up.
It's the last time I did it was probably about 2 years ago, and my best friend growing up, from the time I was 4 till about 10 years old, passed away of heart failure. And that's where I met him. I mean, and if I saw him, 6 weeks before he passed away, it would have been like we never lost touch.
Yeah.
And I met some of my best people.
That would almost be like me losing Jordan.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And it broke my heart to see that. You know, a really weird story. And people will probably think I'm lying about this, but you can absolutely, if anybody ever wants to fact check this, they can absolutely do it. So my wife and I went to the Carolina Mudcats. We got some free tickets to go see the Mudcats, and we got upgraded. So we're like, hell yeah, let's go sit, behind the plate and everything else. And there was like nobody around us except this one couple. And, we just kind of struck it off and started talking. And she actually lived down in Wilmington, and she was up here to visit her boyfriend. And we just kind of briefly talked. It's surfacey, but still a pleasant conversation. And, she was telling me about her kids and, how she's really good friends with her ex-husband, and, they're up there, doing a switch off and everything else. And, we exchanged pleasantries at the end, said, hey, I hope to see you again, have a great life, basically.
Yeah.
That next night or the next day, I found out that my friend Greg passed away. And, it took me, it hit me.
Yeah.
So it took me a couple days to process that. I reached out to a couple friends, and, my mom and dad obviously knew the whole family growing up, because, trailer parks, everybody's family.
Trailer park, everybody knows everybody.
Yep. And,
because you can hear what they're talking about.
everything they're talking about.
Everything they're talking about.
And,
where that meth's hidden.
We went to the funeral home for the viewing and to visit the family and everything else. And I look up, and that couple's there. And I'm like, hey, I'm not going to say her name, but I was like, hey, what are you guys doing here? And they're like, well, Greg's my ex-husband. I was like, what?
What?
And they're like, wait, your name's Max? You're the Max that he always used to talk about? I get like goosebumps. Man.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. I was like, yeah. I was like, that's the weirdest thing that I ran into. His ex-wife talked about family the night before he passed away.
That is crazy.
It is. It's one of those things where you can't
make it up.
No, you really can't.
Why would you? You know what I mean?
Well, exactly, because somebody will damn check.
Yeah.
But no, it's
That's
just one
crazy.
of those things where I feel like everybody's lives are intertwined to a certain
extent.
extent.
When you think about it, and I'm going to get kind of weird and philosophical with this, but when you think about it, my life is connected to your life, which is connected to somebody else's life at your job who I don't know, which is connected to somebody else, their life that we both don't know. I feel like as a human race, just as a race, and as a whole, it's more like an organism, and we're just living and breathing, and we're sharing experiences and passing knowledge, and we're growing all from this. And we're going to have some that aren't going to make it. We're going to have some that are going to be exemplary. But that's just kind of how I feel the world is as a whole. But I wish everybody kind of felt that way, because I don't know. Most of the people I associate myself with, or almost all the people I associate myself with, don't hate everybody.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's like only time I feel like everybody hates everybody is when I cut the TV on. It's like let me check the news. All this, that, and everything else.
Social
Antifa,
media news,
this social media and internet, anything like that. I just try and stay away from it as much as I can. Like, I keep in touch with the people I need to, and I promote what I need to promote. But
if you can stay away from like the big things like religion, politics, everybody gets along really well.
Everybody, yeah. I don't know. All that's going to be changing too.
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. So every once in a while I'll do this, and I'm guilty of just, putting my nose in my phone and kind of looking through things. But
I'll use it as a way to get escape from every now and
I
again,
do too.
Yeah.
I do too. But I'll go on like somebody, that I know, they're random, or like somebody, just a random person that I like see on somebody's feed or something, to see what common friends we have.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like I have 20, mutual friends. I'm like, how the hell do I not know this person?
Dude will pop up and tell me that too. They're like, you have 30 mutual friends with this person. I'm like, who the fuck is this person?
Exactly.
Like, how do I not know this person if I have that many mutual friends?
Well, what's funny is...
But then you look at how many friends you have on Facebook, and I got probably that many mutual friends with almost everybody.
I know. It is. It's one of those things where you sit there and, people's lives are lived in segments, because, we were a lot closer at one point. We saw each other a lot, with a lot more frequency than we do now.
Yeah, but I don't feel like we skip a beat.
Well, exactly.
This is literally the first conversation we've had in, a couple years.
Yeah, at least a couple years.
Yeah. I don't remember.
I had no idea where you lived.
You didn't know well, you knew I'd moved, but you didn't know where I lived.
No.
But anyway.
Yeah, it's just, I think people live their life in segments, and I try to keep in contact with all these segments. Like when I was in high school, sure, I was a skater kid, but I didn't have like a clique.
Yeah.
I talk to everybody.
That's kind of how I was.
Yeah, and because I like conversations. I like people. I like differences.
I like talking to you.
I like learning. I mean, I like ultra liberal. I like ultra conservative, and seeing. I like connecting the dots.
Yeah, because
sometimes there's no dots to connect.
Sometimes there's not. But I tell people, if we can get back to a political gray area, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah,
because that's where shit gets solved.
Yep.
You're not going to agree with everything that person says. They're not going to agree with everything that you say. But if you can find a common ground and work from that, and make some sacrifices and don't move on some things, you'll be fine. You'll figure it out. It'll all work itself out, but nobody's willing to do it. They all want the power grab. They all want the control, and they all want to be able to tell somebody else what to do.
Yep.
And I hate it.
Well, I do too, but that's the landscape that we live in right now.
It is the landscape right now. I mean, it's been the landscape for a while, though. It just, what I honestly feel like has happened is more people are able to see it.
Yep.
It's more viewable now.
They're woke?
I hate that word. Woke. I hate that woke. They're lit, fam. 100 flame emoji.
But I do. I feel like sometimes I feel like, first of all, I feel like I'm on NPR. I'm getting really close to the microphone.
Really close to the microphone. I'm talking really low.
But I feel like I'm in this weird world, and I don't know if I enjoy. I don't particularly like seeing what is coming out of humanity right now, and it's not just here in the United States; it's everywhere.
Yeah,
that's why when I went back to school back in 2008, and my better half told me to go back to school. She said, "Go back for something you're passionate about." And I said, all right, cool. I love politics. I love, bridging the gap. I like, finding the common ground. I want to be that person. And 1 year before I graduated, I said, you know what? I fucking hate this now. Everybody is just, nobody likes each other anymore. Nobody wants to come to a common ground. They want it their way.
Everybody wants to fight.
It's the Burger King mentality. They want it their way.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's horrible.
Yeah.
If I feel like I could make a change, I would, but I feel like I would get sucked in somehow.
Dude, I feel like I'm able to stand on my moral high ground out here.
Yeah.
You put me in front of all of that, and people constantly. It's not like every now and again they're going to check your morals. It's every single time you come in the office, they're going to be like, "Hey, man, what's up? I need this done. I need this pulled through." And then they're like, "Okay, you make one compromise with one person, and it's like giving your lunch away in prison.
Yeah.
Every day you got to give your fucking lunch away.
You're absolutely right.
And then now you're bought,
Yep.
and now they own you, and now you're stuck. And even if you wanted to do something morally correct, they could fuck your whole world up."
Yep. Oh, there was a presidential candidate a couple cycles back that I thought I could get behind. And through some decisions that he made and some...
So it's not Palin. No, I'm just playing.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't get behind him. And I was like, you know what? I'm breaking party ranks, from what I normally would do.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. That happened with me here recently.
Yeah.
It was a tough thing because of all the stuff that came out. Every time I tell myself I'm not going to bring up politics, we're going to get away from it because it's how you divide people
we're being gray enough that we're not really talking about specifics.
Yeah,
so.
But I feel like I'm trying to talk about something that's very common with people.
Bernie 2020. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right. I don't know if he'll make it to 2020. But it's just with all the information that was readily available, all the stuff that came out, all the stuff that you can read that were facts that were typed from the hands of people. You know what I mean? Like you can't ignore these things. You can't just sweep it under the rug because of the fact that, and I'm going to say it, have the first woman president. Just because she was the first woman to run and have a legitimate chance doesn't mean she should be there.
Right.
And I mean, she did a lot for politics, for women in politics. I can't take away what she did do, but she's done some fucked up shit. There's more fucked up shit that we don't know about that has all started to come to light.
Well,
and then on the other hand,
I know
you got a guy who was mostly Democratic, and then he just flipped because I think he wants the power grab, and now he's here. I think he's enjoying every fucking minute of this, even how even as horrendous and mean as people can get towards him and everything. I think he's enjoying every second of it. I think he's doing exactly what he wanted to do. Yep. But I brought this up on the last podcast, and I'll say it again. He's going to cause a huge change in America. Yeah. But like him or not, agree with his politics or not.
But is the change going to be good or bad?
was yet to be seen.
Yeah.
It's yet to be seen. There's a change coming. I feel like America's getting close to that, I always associate it with, because I grew up around a lot of addicts, rock bottom. Yeah. You got to hit that rock bottom before you can go up. If you don't hit that rock bottom, you're never going to go up, because you'll always slip and you'll always fall.
Always.
And I think we're getting close.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to have like a war here or anything. I think people blow that way out of proportion. Yeah. I don't think there's going to be like another civil war here. But I think we're boiling. We're getting to a boiling point.
We would have to have something major to cause a civil war, and it's just because
it would have to be something huge.
Difference of opinion is not going to do it. I mean, it has to be the North, not being, or the North and the South not being treated equally.
You hate to bring exactly. Bring it back to that, but that's really the only thing we have to base it off of for us.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not like overseas where you have just difference in tribes. I mean, I mean, and that's one thing. Getting back to. No, I'm not even going to get into that. Just talking about how the United States is really young. It's a very immature society.
We are
still.
Very young. It's like we're that young guy who got all that power.
Yep,
we're that young CEO. Yep. We're that Mark Zuckerberg. We're like, oh shit, we're just going to sit here and sip water and let all this shit blow over. You know what I mean? We're going to go in robot mode. Right. I haven't dealt with this before.
Yeah, I mean, it's not you're not dealing with tribal differences that go back 2,000 years.
Yeah,
or monarchies or anything. So yeah, we're in a completely different boat right now.
Yeah, we are.
Sorry,
it's fine.
We got deep for a minute.
I don't care. That's what I love about it. I'll say it. I'm going to say it. People are probably going to get tired of hearing me say it, but I love doing this because you can go from talking about what you're going to do with lottery winnings to the state of America. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then you got $1.6 billion
that
in the lottery.
Be sweet.
Wouldn't that be great if they just used that money for like education?
Well, it would be nice, but who would skim off the top? Because that would happen. Everything is so corrupt. I mean, and I hate to be so jaded,
but you have to be. It's not even jaded. I feel like it's just being honest with yourself and being real with what's going on. Yep. And when you come to that realization, when you make the realization that this is the shit that's going on now, there's a good chance that all this shit was going on when I was oblivious to it.
So. Yeah.
So why worry more now than I did before? I'm gonna. It's going to be there. I'm going to hear about it more. I'm going to know about it more. I'm going to take the information in, and I'm going to, my opinions will change as information comes in. But I don't think we're any much different.
Educated.
Yeah, right? Right? You don't just go, I'm going to stick with it, man. We're going to go. We got this. My daddy did it, and his daddy did that.
The more you know, shooting star.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I think you need to learn something at least once a day. It makes me feel better at least knowing that.
Yeah, it's something new.
Even if it's just, hey, I like that bourbon, and I didn't know I liked that one before.
Yeah, just a second. I'm going to go cut the baby monitor off.
Yeah. Oh, is that what's going on?
Yeah, that's what we keep hearing in the background. I did this last time, too, with Byron. I was like, dude, turn the baby monitor off. Reach right there and just cut it off. It's such a bad podcast host. But now, at least this time, I cut my phone on silent. With him, I didn't even have my phone on silent. But yeah, so.
So you watching any TV?
I am. I actually wrote down notes. Max, TV shows. Do you watch? Are you on Netflix?
I am.
You are? That doesn't sound like you're on it a lot, though.
Well, I
live on Netflix. I live on Netflix and Hulu.
I haven't been as much lately just because of life. Being in a new neighborhood, I'm like actually active and have friends.
You're like, hey, I got neighbors I can go walk to now. I got a street I can go get out
I go for walks. I take my dogs for walks. I drink beer. It's awesome. But so what do you watch on Netflix?
Here recently I've been watching that show Norseman. Yeah. And it's a comedy set like it's Vikings. Mm-hmm. So like if you think about
they don't seem like very funny people.
They don't, but dude, the writers of this show they don't deserve enough credit. Right. It's a very, very funny show. It's called Norseman. And it just follows like if you've ever watched what's that show? Vikings, I think it was, on History Channel. Yeah. It's very similar to that, it has that kind of a feel to it, but it's just all like this very subtle humor, very good characters.
Right.
Very easy to write for characters. I find myself watching the show going, I would say this right here. You know what I mean?
Was it made stateside or overseas?
Oh, definitely not. It's definitely made overseas. Yeah. Everybody's got that Scandinavian accent.
I love dry humor, though.
Talk like this, and we can rape and pillage, and they have like this. There's a whole scene where they get like all PC about raping and pillaging. They're like, this guy's at his house. I'm gonna spoil it for some people, but this guy's sitting at his house. They just got back from raiding and pillaging and all this stuff, and he's sitting there. He's all distraught at dinner with his family. The wife sends the kids off and goes, honey, tell me what's wrong. He goes, well, we were out and it's just like normal. We go in, we steal, but now he wanted me to rape this woman, and not just me, but everybody, and I wasn't comfortable with it. And he just starts going off about how he just doesn't feel, none of it feels right. Like, we used to do it this way, used to be so much nicer. And she's like, well, why don't you just go talk to him? All he can say is just no.
It's me too.
You know? Yeah. And he's like, all he can say is no. And then end up, that guy gets killed.
So, what's funny is you bring something like that up and, it's a comedy and they bring up rape and pillaging and everything else. But, in 5 years from now, I bet they won't even be talking about, well, they'll be talking about rape because it's horrible, but they won't be able to make a joke about it, it's not a joking matter.
It's not a joking matter, but
because I was thinking about it in the same context. So let me clarify it before anybody ever says anything like I'm insensitive. I'm absolutely not. It's hit home as well. But look at like Sanford and Son or was it the Archie Bunker show? Or
one of these days, Alice.
How all these things have changed over 20 years, 25 years, 30 years.
I'm going to hit you so hard in the face, you're going to go up to the moon.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you don't joke about stuff like that.
Shut the fuck up, woman. It doesn't happen.
Or like how racially insensitive Sanford and Son was, or Benson for that matter. Or the Jeffersons too. Yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, they were racially insensitive. But you also have to think what it actually did for the community. At the same time, it actually put black actors on the screen. It put them in people's names. It put them in the households. And it did a lot of good stuff. It's just I feel bad that they have to do it that way. You know what I mean? They have to I just don't feel as a white guy I have to really hide anything that I got. You know what I mean? Like I can just be myself and it's fine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, growing up in the rural South, I'm not saying I had a horrible upbringing, but I was called names. I was, had darker skin and 90% of the people around me. And
I mean, I'm a tan guy, but you're a little bit more tan than I am.
Yeah, naturally tan.
Naturally tan, yeah.
So imagine when I was
I'm tan
a kid.
because I'm outside.
But and then really the dark features and everything. So I was called stuff when I was a kid, and it was never good. I mean, I like I said, I would never equate what I grew up with even the current landscape.
No, absolutely not. I mean, I didn't have it easy either. I was a fat kid all the time, so I got picked on for that. And then when I would actually get something of value, then they would just say it was fake, and it's just. It was shitty,
people
man.
Mean,
but I don't.
Man. Just people are mean. And
I feel bad for my daughter because she's already starting to see that, and she's only 6. Yeah. I keep wanting to age my kids and myself. I always tell people, I'm 35. I don't think I'm 35. I think I'm 34. I don't do math. I stopped caring. You know what I mean? I hit like 30, and I was
just
like,
had a birthday, and I'm like, I don't want to tell anybody. Yeah.
I usually base it off. I always ask my mom how old she is, and because I'm 20 years younger than she is.
Right,
it's so much easier for me to be like, okay, I'm 34. I'm 35.
Well, Lane kind of grew. I mean, so. Even as recent as when Lane was born, because I was with Pam, and Pam was straight Laotian and very dark Laotian. And, we got stares and looks and everything else. And, Lane's pretty damn dark too. Mm-hmm. And, he kind of goes through that on occasion too, and it's just like, I just don't get people. I really don't.
I don't understand it. You have, so what they're telling me is everything else in your life is so perfect. You have no other worries that you got to hate these two people for loving each other. Yep. I don't get it. I've got more shit to worry about, like where my next mortgage is coming from. If my daughter's going to have enough food for the week.
Real world problems.
Like actual shit, Not like, oh man, when they get home, they probably love the shit out of each other, and I just can't stand that. I can't have two people liking each other for who they are and accepting each other. Jesus Christ, what's this world come to?
Well, when people stop worrying about what other people do, the world will be a better place.
That's true, but I don't think that's ever going to happen.
I don't either.
How about Canada making pot legal?
You know what? They're going to make a lot of money off of that.
Did you hear they're already almost out? 2 days in, they're almost out of pot.
I'm not surprised, and I'm not saying I advocate or not, but from a business standpoint, Canada's be making money hand over fist.
Yeah.
And if they can regulate it the same way they do alcohol, which I think, from everything I've read and everything I've seen, I think alcohol is probably worse.
Alcohol is definitely a worse thing. I will tell you this. I've never had a stepdad come home high and try and beat the shit out of me. Right. You know what I mean? I have had him come home drunk and then my mom stand in front of him. But like, I've never experienced anything like that with somebody who's high. Ever. Mm-mm. I don't know.
I think it's a good thing.
I think it is. I think I saw this. Nothing is ever going to be funnier than memes. No matter how hard you try, you can't be funnier than memes. But I saw this one is like, congratulations, Canada, for winning the war on drugs, which I thought was hilarious. But because that's all the war on drugs is just another money grab, power grab, and to be discriminatory against certain groups of people.
It is, yeah.
And that's why pot was illegal in the first place, because they wanted to get rid of Hispanic people, Mexican people. They didn't like them. They were like, well, we got to demonize them somehow. Because it was legal until they were like, oh, now all of a sudden America's got a problem with Hispanic people. Got to do something about it.
Right.
So, but that's why they did a lot of that stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, heroin should definitely stay illegal. Right. You know, there's other stuff that should definitely stay illegal, but something that doesn't have to have, there's no processing you have to do. You cut it down, it dries out, you smoke it.
Exactly.
That's it. That's all you have to do with it. You don't have to cut it up with baking soda or any of that crap.
You just rub it on your hands if it's
it's sticky. Oh, it's good to go. Yeah. So I don't know, but I think it's going to be like the next gold rush.
I could see that.
Especially, it pisses me off because we live in the Bible Belt, so it's probably not going to happen here until some of the last places. But North Carolina has some very fertile fucking soil, and we're like the perfect place to start growing this stuff. We can just switch from tobacco to pot, have a whole new industry start, and there's going to be a huge economic boom from it.
Yep.
I mean, there's so much money, and then you could take that money and actually do good things. All these people who are opposed to pot being legal, they're like, well, we need to do this and that, make schools better. Look at Colorado. Yeah. Look at Canada in a year, and you tell me how much more money they're bringing in, and how much where you can put that.
Just think
to
about
make your communities better.
The travel, the tourism, is going to increase exponentially now.
Yeah. So their tourism is going to go way up, especially on those border states.
I mean, Amsterdam's cool, but
that's a long flight.
Yeah,
man.
what do people go to Amsterdam for?
Right, I could get up to Canada in a couple hours on an airplane. I'm not trying to spend like half a day. That's half a day I could be smoking. No.
That's right.
But no, I think it would be good if they actually legalized it down here. And it'd be great for North Carolina. And plus, there's other parts of it that people don't understand either. Is like hemp. The hemp industry is huge. There's so much stuff that can be made from hemp. There was Did you ever see the video of the car fender? There was a fender. They made a car for a fender. And I can't remember if it was Ford or somebody, but they made a car fender out of hemp, and literally took a hammer and beat the shit out of it, and it didn't dent. It didn't do anything. Hemp is an amazing thing.
It is, and
it can be used for a lot of stuff, and plus the medicinal properties of everything. If we can get people off of opioids, the opioid epidemic is crazy.
I think it's CBD oil. I think they're just now really tapping into the medical benefits that they could bring.
But they can't because it's Schedule 1. They can't. They're not legally allowed to touch it, and to try and do anything with it.
So it's funny. I'm not going to mention anybody's names or industries or anything, but I do know somebody that was part of Big Tobacco. I can say Big Tobacco.
Okay, you can say Big Tobacco.
And what they seem like they're doing is trying to maybe move sectors, and they're putting a lot of research, R&D into marijuana and the hemp industry. And I mean, if you get Big Tobacco behind it, it's eventually going to pass.
Yeah, well, that's why a lot of stuff didn't pass, is because Big Tobacco didn't want to be behind it, or couldn't get behind it. So that's the other part of it. We can get back into politics. Talking about corporations.
I know. That's why I was like, I don't know if I want to get into this.
Yeah, no, but no, I think it'd be smart if tobacco switched.
Yeah,
I think that it would be beneficial to everybody's health. I mean, we could probably just stop. We'll almost stop making cigarettes.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people out there who'll be pissed.
I mean,
but they'll get over it and live for a couple extra years or so.
Live free or die.
Yeah, right. Live free or die.
But it's my choice.
Yeah, it's true. It is their choice. But I don't know. We could almost come to a stop on that if we just, I don't know. It could flip all around. I'm excited to see where like the next 20 years is going to be.
Me too.
in that state. As far as like who's going to be running this bitch, who knows, man?
You.
Yeah, I wish. No, I don't.
No,
I don't. No, I don't want a whole bunch of group of people hating me.
I know.
You know what I mean? I already got enough hate.
No, you gotta put them all together, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Come on, people now.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm afraid, or I don't know if afraid's the right word, but I'm concerned about the future,
Yeah.
Love your kids, man, and teach them the best possible thing you can
I was just sitting here thinking, I was like, you're saying that, and you're lucky enough to already have a kid who's in his 20s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I know that doesn't change much, but my kids are coming up into the climate now.
Yeah.
And it's like, you look back and I'm like, man, I wish my kids would have came up in that one. You know what I mean? Like, because at least I know that one. This one, I don't know. And they don't know. And they're going to know more about it than I do. And that scares me.
Well, hell, I felt that way, 20 years ago. I was like,
That's
man,
true.
I don't know what I'm bringing my kid up into.
Because it doesn't change.
I sent him overseas. He was deployed, and he's seen some bad stuff. And, those are things that I keep, that I keep an eye out for him now.
Yeah,
to make sure that
what branch did he went? Navy?
He's Air Force.
Air Force?
Yeah. I know people say Chair Force, but there's some pretty bad stuff that...
Dude, Air Force, they're badasses, man. Does he fly?
No. So he's weather. And I know that sounds like it's a cushy job too, but
he sees some crazy shit, huh?
Well, he's basically
tropical storms.
Well, he does, like, when pilots need to go, they're like, hey, can we go? And he says yay or nay. If there's anything, any drone footage or anything, I'm sure he sees that as well. Yeah. So, yeah, he's seen some stuff that I think has impacted him, is going to impact him.
I've had I had a couple friends go military, and they go to their basic and they come back and they're a little different. After they get that first deployment and they see some shit and they come back and they're on that visit, their whole demeanor kind of changes a little bit.
It does.
They it's like you feel like, okay, this person's matured a little bit more than me. There's something that's happened. They've seen something, done something, heard something that's changed them. Yeah. And you don't know what it is. And it's a weird feeling when you're really close to somebody and they go away for a year and they come back different and they're not able to even talk about it. Right. They're not comfortable enough to talk about it. Or legally allowed to.
Right.
And it's a tough situation because it's like you want to be on the same level as them, but you can't. Right. So you just kind of have to sit back and accept it and just watch this person go. And it's got to be a lot different when it's your kid.
Yeah, it is. Obviously there's concern.
Speaking of kids.
I know. There's
you hear mine shouting outside.
About a parent, there's that concern. But it goes deeper too, because there's tens of thousands of guys out there, that have had it worse than Lane. And what are they going through? Or guys and girls, sorry.
But not to generalize.
I use guys interchangeably.
It's just, sorry, we're getting to it. We're getting better at it. We're working on it. We're going to generalize.
I do it at work too. So.
We're going to generalize for a little bit while this transition happens. Yeah. We're working on our PC-ness.
Yeah. But, it's definitely something that I concern myself with just because, there's, like I said, tens of thousands of guys. And, you're too young for it, but when I was younger, I was dealing with a lot of my friends' fathers coming back from Vietnam. Yeah, and
I'm too young for that.
Yeah, but I still have some really good friends, and their fathers will never talk about anything. You know, and that's like I talk to my friends about it, and they're like, I don't even really know. I mean, kind of goes back to This Is Us. I mean, they really just don't talk about it.
They didn't talk about it.
Right.
I'm not that guy. I would have to tell everybody because I know when I'm mentally slipping. Because you were talking about earlier when you were moving and it kind of put a strain on you and you kind of went to a bad place and you come out of it a better person. And I am sitting pretty much in that same scenario where I went through some pretty, I don't know if it was just the lack of my ability to be able to create. Like, because doing this and, like, playing music and doing comedy and making those funny, stupid songs, as dumb as they are, I love them because it's my creative outlet. It allows me to be this happy person. I found that when I shut myself off and just focus on just work, and I'm just working, I'm just home, and I'm just working, I'm just home, I hate myself. I end up hating people around me. I'm a dick. I'm horrible to my family. When I have a creative outlet, and I'm able to get all this out, this stupid silliness out, I'm a better person. So I get where you're coming from. It took a while for me to realize that you go through a lot of dark shit, man. You get some bad thoughts, and you just have bad days. Dark days will come on you, and just know that you got to make it through. You got to keep walking. You got to keep walking.
Who's dark days?
Dark days, my dark days.
Why are they coming on you?
They're coming on me. Yeah, Dark Days. He's this guy I met, man. I was trying to be codeful about it, but you wanted to go ahead and just flush it out there. So me and Dark Days, Jenny, if you're listening, I'm leaving you for Dark Days. He's this guy I met online.
Nice to meet you on Dark Days.
Hey. Yeah. Why's he gotta go? It'd be a lot better if he's like, oh, I'm Dark Days. How to fuck shit up. But yeah, so you go through all that, but come out of it a better person. I feel a lot better. I feel like I have gained more perspective from going through that.
I miss being the funny guy. I mean, not that I was always funny guy, but I could always do like one-liners and It's getting back.
It's coming back. That's dude. Where I came from to where I am now, work wise, where I was at, dealing with all that stress and all of everybody else's problems all the time. I got here. I didn't want to think about anything. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to zone out and leave me the fuck alone. Now it's totally different. Now I enjoy it because I'm not dealing with all those stresses. Now I have more time to, be funny, be silly, and do these things. And I feel my creativity coming back, and like these little ideas and little things will start flooding to me. That's why I got so many notebooks laying around.
Well, you deserve it, but other people deserve it too, because you're a funny dude, And
I appreciate that.
And I do. I miss that. It's, and I think that's why, like, when Jen looks at me, she's like, I miss the old Max, and I was like, well, damn, where did that Max go?
Yeah, like you don't even realize that he's gone.
Yep.
Because you're in it. You're in that ride. And you don't see it change.
Same thing, man. It's just like I just want to come home, play video games, not talk to anybody, and that's just not a cool place to be.
It's not. I mean, it works for some people if that's what you want, but for me specifically, and maybe for you too, it's just not. I want more. I wanted to do more. I felt like, like the time that I'm using to do this right now, to be creative, to create something, to put it out there for judgment, for the world to hear it, whatever they want to do with it, and then to be able to put myself out there and wanting to hear that criticism. This time I'm doing now, I used to have. I'd just be sitting here playing PlayStation.
Oh, yeah.
And at the end of that, I got maybe a win on Fortnite. But most of the time, it was just me bullshitting with my friends.
Right.
And
you played Fortnite.
And then that's it. Ugh. I played it. Yeah, I played Fortnite. I played it so I couldn't keep up with it anymore.
Yeah.
I played it until, I think it was season... I think they're in season 5 now. Yeah. I played it till season 3. Yeah. Like when the original Fortnite was out, you could run around, build, and shoot. Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This little
it's
bit.
too competitive.
Yeah. And now it's just you got these people who are live streaming and they're fucking ace masters at it. I looked at some video the other day. It was or a GIF this morning, and it had a guy on a 4-wheeler fucking rocket boosting across and knocking somebody out. I'm like, I'm out. Dude, I'm out. I can't keep up with it anymore.
I played Destiny, and that's and a couple of other things. And,
I played Destiny for a little bit, and I was just like, Black Ops, the zombies. I got into zombies hardcore a couple of years ago, just playing zombies nonstop. But then I think back, I'm like, man, all that time, even if I could have used a fraction of that time towards something more creative or more self-fulfilling. I'd probably be in a little bit better place. But even you'll hear it later. Or you listen to the other podcast. That song that I use for the intro and the outro is a song I wrote while sitting in my living room in the townhouse where I used to live 6 years ago. And I just had it saved. And I just heard it and I was like, I'm going to use that.
Right.
That's going to work. And it works great. I love it. It's a nice chill little thing. I didn't know when I made it, I had no clue what I was going to use it for.
Right.
I didn't even know I had it. And I was just sitting here, broke the iPad out. This thing has been in a box for 3 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I hadn't even broke the iPad out in a long time. And then I broke it out and I was just going through all this stuff. I was like, what the hell is this? I was like, oh, shit. Okay, we'll use that.
That's crazy, man. You've been doing this a long time. And I didn't, part of losing touch, but I didn't realize you lost your weight like that.
Oh, yeah, man.
I mean, I knew.
I've gone through...
Some, but...
A lot of people talk about, and we're talking about getting deep. A lot of people don't like to talk about going through depression. I deal with it. I deal with it constantly. I might tear up. I deal with a constant voice telling me that I'm a piece of shit. It's just always there, and it's always telling me that I'm bad, and always telling me that I'm down. And it's not till recently that I hear, and it's going to sound like I'm crazy, but it's I hear another voice telling that voice to shut up.
Yeah.
And it took so long, Max. It's so hard to go through everything you got to go through to get to where you have a voice that fights for you and your internal dialogue isn't fighting against you.
Yep.
And I finally feel like I have myself fighting in my corner, and that's what's going to keep me going. I went through a period this week where I was like, oh, I'm still trying to do this. Why? Why am I sitting down and doing this? Why am I doing comedy? Why am I doing this podcast? What's the point? My brain would start doing that, and the other part of me goes, dude, shut the fuck up. You're doing this for you. You're doing it because it makes you feel good. It makes you be a better person. It helps you get that creative outlet out there and feel good about yourself. And so that's why I keep doing it.
You should feel good about yourself because, wonderful family.
I appreciate it.
In a better place now.
You merged this family together. You were there. You were people won't know this, but you were our officiant at our wedding.
So disregard all the dirty words.
All the dirty words you say. You got officialized for what, a couple days or something like that?
Yeah,
to be able to do it.
I've done quite a few.
You've done
weddings.
a couple more, haven't you?
Yeah, I've done quite a few weddings.
So if you guys need a wedding guy,
I'm tired.
he's done. I'm done. I'm 3 and done.
Yeah. But nah, man, you should be. What you're doing, even just right here, man, is more effort than I've put into anything. Yeah. It's awesome, man, and you should be proud of it.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I put a lot into this. Mm-hmm. This garage was gone to crap. Like, I let it get when I moved in, I had all these big plans to do something, and then you know how it goes. You move in and all your stuff just starts piling up. And
kids,
then
kids,
and you get like Christmas happens and you have 30,000 fucking Amazon boxes and they're all crumpled up in here, stacked up and all this. This is like the third generation of this garage right now. Because the first one was all these pallets that you see on the wall. The pallet boards that were on the wall were actually on pallets stacked up in here. So I had to cut all those down, which I got to get more and finish this wall out. But I put that up and then like I built that couch that's behind you. Right. I built that couch. And I just used that for a long time. This TV was up there. I just didn't have a monitor for my computer. Right. But this is where I would play PlayStation at. I built that record player, all that stuff. I built it. And then this is just where I would hang out. And then I got getting darker and darker in my head and just wanting to get that creativity out and wanting to find out what the hell's going on with me. I started just clearing clutter. I just started clearing stuff out. And I'm like, okay, this feels a little bit better. This feels a little bit better. And then I just eventually just cleaned this bitch out. My buddy Davey came over and helped me just clean it out. And he helped me put this floor down, which I got a killer deal on this. Just the cheap stuff at Home Depot, man. Sure. Well, whatever was on sale, I needed 200 square foot. Yep. Boom. Did that. Done. That changed this whole feel. And then I found this for cheap. I already had this as the other half of my workbench. I cut my workbench in half and lowered it so I could have a desk. So it's just basically working with what I got. And then just getting nice and cleared out. And then I already had all the mics and everything. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I love seeing you use your energy for this because, like I said, I mean, you used to like really bust ass, like open mics and you know, your little side gigs and everything. And I used to go out and hang out and watch you. And, you deserve it. You deserve all the good stuff that's coming. So. Yeah,
I appreciate it. I feel like I was telling Jenny probably about before all this started. And when I was going through, probably coming out of the depression, like right towards the other end of it, and, coming down from the highest, the worst part of it, working my way through, coming back to normalcy, I'm sitting there talking to Jenny. I'm like, I have a feeling that things are changing. Mm-hmm. I was like, I can just feel it in the air. There's just something different. There's good things coming our way. Let's just keep our head down and keep plugging forward and just keep our feet moving, and we'll get there. And that was like 6 months ago, and here's where I am now. Right. And I'm excited to see where I'm going to be in 6 more months. Yeah. And then a year from now, I'm excited to get the 100th episode of this thing done. And we're on number 2 right now. That's awesome, so right? I want to do like a big 100th episode and have a couple people in and do a big thing with it.
Hell, you can break the first one up and this one up into like 50 different ones.
Probably. Man, that's the whole thing.
You know what's funny? I was actually just thinking about this when you were talking to me. And I was watching your eyes and I wasn't really thinking about what you were saying. No,
totally. I do that all the time.
But I was like, the tangents that we go off of and as quick as we transition from one thing to another, people are going to be like, that's just horrible splicing jobs. Right. Like, no, that's just how quickly we move.
Yeah, right. He's horrible at editing. But I won't edit this. I'll edit the audio to where try and keep all the pops and stuff out of it and make everything sound nice and good. And then I'll just post it straight up. That's awesome. Mean, unless somebody hits me up, either while we're doing it or afterwards going, hey, I said this and I really wish I wouldn't have that in there. Then I'll go in and edit it. But for the most part, 99% of these are going to come out unedited.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We need to do it like maybe have some bourbon or something one time and get a little looser.
Dude, yeah,
and
funny. I'd love to do that. Maybe for like a New Year's episode or something like that. We could do like a New Year's podcast and I might be able to get it live or something like that so people can listen live and call in and hang out with us for the new year.
Talk about some bourbon. I love bourbon.
Work with some people who love bourbon. I love drinking bourbon. Yeah. I'm not very knowledgeable in it other than some of it tastes better than others and some of it goes down smoother than others, but it'll all get you fucked up. That's all.
This is true.
If I pay $100 to do it or $20 to do it, the only difference I'm going to feel is in the morning.
Right.
You're
the cheap 100%
shit.
Correct.
The cheap shit's going to give you a headache. Oh my God! So talking about getting older. One, I'm afraid I'm going to flush my balls when I go take a shit. Two,
you're just washing them. That's all it is.
Dude, even washing my ass has become a problem. Two, it's the hangovers, man. The hangovers, I can't deal with them anymore. I'll have 3 beers and I'll feel it for 2 days.
Stop drinking shit.
It's not even shit. Well, it might be shit. But like I'll have like there's some like well this is true though because I've had like 4 or 5 Hell Yes Ma'ams before.
Oh yeah.
The 9.5%ers or whatever. from Raleigh Brewing.
4 or 5 of them, yeah.
Yeah, but 4 or 5 of them, man, I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
And then the next morning, I won't have that bad of a
Right.
headache because it's good quality shit.
Right.
But you go get well rum and cokes or well anything.
Yeah, you're gonna feel like
you get
shit.
drunk on that, you're going to feel like shit in the morning.
Well, that's funny because I was having this conversation with Jen recently because we're trying to build up our bar, being in a new house and everything, and I'm trying not to go through it as quickly. so what I do is I was like, well, let's buy a little bit better stuff, and then I won't go through it as quickly, which is the case. But Jen, she was like, well, I'm going to go get some, some vodka. What should I get? And she started throwing out some random names. I said, no. I said, do you like how you feel when you wake up with a hangover? She said, no. I said, then don't get that shit.
Then don't get that.
That's not what you want to get. So I'm coaching her. She's getting better about it.
She's getting better with it?
Yeah, she's getting better.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I can't do that anymore. Yeah, washing your ass has become a thing. Even to get around. I'm a big guy.
We're getting older. We're not as limber.
I'm not as limber. Although I can still bend over and touch my toe. If you're listening, I can still bend over and touch my toes without bending my knees. So I'm still flexible in that area. But you're right, I'm not as nimble. I'm a big guy. So get that reach around. I'll get a cramp. On my back, I'm standing in the shower, and then I'll just have to turn with the cramp to get the hot water on the cramp.
Yeah, what's that song? Is it R. Kelly? My mind is telling me.
My mind's telling me no.
It's the opposite, though.
Yeah.
So my mind is telling me yes, and my body's telling me no.
Yeah. So I've got a detachable shower head.
Oh my god!
Yeah, so
I know where this is going.
Yeah, right. No, well, because you've probably done it. And I got one of those.
I feel bad for that shower head.
An Axe loofah, and I figured it out, man. You can put that bitch on the sprinkler setting and put that loofah on there, and you just reach around, man. It just goes to town. You just got to replace the.
Stuff like this.
The worst part's when Jenny walks in and catches you, though.
Well, she's never caught me, so it's okay.
I hope not. You make that eye contact, and you're just I don't know what to do. You got two choices. You can either stand there and just keep going, make it real weird, or you just start trying to explain what's going on.
Yeah, I know. So in our old house, it was an enclosed shower. I mean, it was a stand-up shower. You walk into it, but it was enclosed, and it had a frosted door. Mm-hmm. So it was complete privacy. If I wanted to say hi to Jen, I'd either have to open the door or look over the door. Yeah. In this one, I'm in the freaking aquarium, dude. So it's so I walk in and I'm like, oh my god, I can see Jen's everything. It's just oh my god, what the hell is going on here? And
I'm married. I'm not supposed to be able to see this.
It was like a deer. She stopped. I was like, baby, I won't look. She's like, it was just weird because I haven't experienced this before. I was like, no, and I haven't either.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's awkward. Oh man.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Did you ever see This Is 40? That movie?
Or this is with Paul Rudd and what's his dude's wife, the director's wife, who's always in all of his movies.
I can't remember Emily or man.
I can't remember her name,
man.
but she is funny.
Yeah, dude, it's like a documentary.
Oh, for real? When he's sitting on the toilet with his iPad and he's like, "Oh yeah," she's like, "You took a shit 10 minutes ago." He's like, "Yeah, I know. I just gotta go." And he's getting his pants on. He's just sitting there.
It is, man.
It's like
a documentary, man. It's like I feel like,
man. Yeah. That's a good movie. Yeah. What other movies you seen?
Nah, dude, I've seen
Anything
lot.
I should go see?
Recently I just saw Bad Times at El Royale.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, that was actually pretty good. It had a pretty cool vibe to it. I'm not going to give anything away. Yeah, but it was good. It got decent reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, and I think they're deserved. You just have to understand that you're not going in there to some. It's more like a Pulp Fiction than like a Die Hard.
It's more of like yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. I don't know how to say it any better than what you said it.
Yeah, I mean it's good though. It's good. And what else have I seen? Oh, so there's a new. Well, it's not new. It's been there for a while, but it's Alamo Drafthouse. It's a movie theater over by kind of closer to where I live on New Bern Avenue, and they do like dinner, movie, drinks, whatever you want. But every once in a while they'll do like revivals of movies. And if it's not her favorite, it's one of her favorite movies is Spaceballs. Jen's
Oh
movies.
my God, I love that movie.
It's a quote along. So you go in. And
is it?
Yeah, man. So they had like over 90 quotes throughout the movie, but Jen basically did almost the entire movie. Yeah, man. So, they gave you like a Schwartz sword and they gave you the Virgin alarm and it was awesome, man. We had such a good time. So anytime that they do those revivals, I'm going to try to check those out. So,
hit me up next time they do that could be fun.
Man. Oh, they had Pizza the Hut MC in it, man. It was awesome. It was awesome, man.
Yeah. So, you watch American Horror Story?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I was actually finishing up the latest one right before I came here today.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So I binge watched. I started working with this. I got a new crew chief, and I started working with him, and he brought up American Horror Story, and I was like, man, I don't have anything to watch right now, and I'm in between kind of shows, and I'm waiting for like Game of Thrones to come back and all that. I'm like, let me check it out. So I started watching it probably about 3 weeks ago, maybe, and I'm all the way up to season 7, like episode 3.
Right.
So like I'm not caught up.
You're almost there though. Yeah.
I'm almost there. I'm in the election season now. Yeah. But dude, that's been a pretty good show.
Yeah, man. You're gonna dig like the new season too, man. Yeah. So you got to get to it.
I got to be honest though, I was really stoked for the Roanoke season.
Yeah. And
then when I got to it, like halfway through it, they did that little plot twist.
Yeah.
And lost me.
Yeah.
They lost me. Like I stopped caring. Like I just my care for the
characters. Towards the end,
though. It did not. What I did do, and I'll admit it, is I skipped through. Like I didn't skip entire episodes. Like I would skip a couple minutes because it was so boring to me. I was just like click. Click. Oh shit! What happened? Go back.
Yeah.
Okay, that happened. All right, go. They focused on that one character, the mom, Lee, and it just lost me. Like I didn't have any emotional investment with her. Like I wasn't emotionally invested in that character to want to figure out.
So what's been your favorite season before, prior to that? Then
it's almost like with anything. It's almost like when a movie comes out and they release a sequel. You always love the first one.
Yeah, the first one was
the first season. Murder House.
Yeah,
hooked me, dude.
Yeah,
it was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
So
and then I liked Hotel. I liked Hotel.
Oh, Hotel, dude. Lady Gaga was phenomenal.
Dude,
man.
I told Jenny was like, "Is this the one Lady Gaga's in?" Because she thought it was Freak Show. I was like, she never showed up in Freak Show, but she was in Hotel. I was like, she's hot as fucking this.
Well, that and she's just a phenomenal actress. Good actress. Yeah. Well, that's why I want to see A Star Is Born. I want to see that.
Jenny wants to go see that. Yeah. I want to take her to go see that. I want to see it.
Me too.
Because she did great in American Horror Story. She did awesome, dude.
From what I understand, she wanted to be an actress first and a singer second. And
then she met Michael Bolton.
Oh man,
he'll change your heart.
Oh, I know. But no, man.
I had his tape. Michael
you
Bolton.
Had his tape?
I had a tape of Michael. What was that one song?
What was your first tape?
My first tape? I almost want to say it was Alan Jackson, but I think that was my first CD. My first tape might have been Steppenwolf, Born to Be Wild.
That's not a bad first tape.
It's not a bad one, but I definitely had that. I had that. I had Clint Black. Mm-hmm. I had Patsy Cline was on tape.
Yeah.
I go out walking.
Yeah. I still listen to Patsy.
Patsy Cline, and then I had Steppenwolf, and I had Vanilla Ice.
Whoa.
So I had like even that was at a young age. I just had like this mix. I was like across the board, and then there's this guy who was in the trailer park. There's a guy who lived across from me who had like a stereo system, and he had all these old tapes and stuff. And I'd go over there and get like Run DMC, and I'd borrow that, and I'd listen to it, and I'd give it back because if my mom knew, she'd be pissed.
Right.
Because that was back when rap was changing. Rap was so bad for everybody, and we were all like, "Fuck off! It's fucking just music," So we'd listen to everything all across the board, and I've always been that way, which is part of the reason why I think I love doing this shit.
That's pretty awesome, man. I can't remember my exact first tape, but I remember my bank of first tapes. Okay?
Yeah.
So I had Michael Jackson Thriller. I had Hall & Oates, Men at Work, and U2.
Okay.
Yeah. Those were my first, because I got like a Sony Walkman for my birthday.
Oh, dude. You remember those?
With man.
The metal headband? The little thin metal headband?
That's exactly what it was.
And the shit that was like this on the headphones?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. And you're walking around. You're such a badass. You had that thing out there. You had it all out in the fucking windbreaker jacket on. Yeah.
I loved it, man. I loved it. And I guess my mom and dad coordinated with like family members to get me tapes, and that's why I ended up getting like 4 or 5 tapes like around that time.
Yep, that's what always happened with me too. Like I'd get like the big Christmas item would be like I'd get like a CD player, and so I'd know I'd get it because the night before I'd get a bunch of square shaped presents I couldn't open until the morning. You know what I mean? Yep, that's a CD.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, my mom hooked me up when I got my first CD player, dude. She got me like Pink Floyd, and she got me just a lot of good old like Leonard Skinner. She gave me a lot of good classic rock. She was like, I'm going to get you this, but you're going to listen to the shit that I want you to, that I listen to.
I mean, it's the same shit I grew up with, like my mom and dad. Because, I mean, honestly, what my mom and dad listened to is what I listened to, obviously. Yeah. And then, my taste changed a little bit, but I still always go back to that, like, late 70s, mid to late 70s rock, I
always go back to, like, that Southern style rock, like, very much so Skinner. Skinner's got a song called Mr. Banker, and it was a demo version on one of the like long like box sets that you could get. And that's like one of my all-time favorite songs. It's all about a guy who they come from absolutely fucking nothing. He's managed to have this really nice guitar, and his dad has died. They don't have any money, and he's at the bank begging the banker to just take the guitar, take the money from the guitar, and just bury my dad. Like, I'll give you the only thing that makes me me to put my father in the ground. I was like, dude, I love this shit. Yeah. And you don't hear that anymore now. It's, oh, Nana, what's my name? You know what I mean? Like, okay, even that's like 10 years old.
I know. I don't listen to anything.
I listen to everything. Really. I listen to everything new because if you don't, you get out of touch.
Oh, I know.
Then that's just how you get loopholed into that being that old guy.
I watch The Voice.
Like, see, I can't watch The Voice.
I like The Voice. I mean, that's the only way I keep up with new stuff.
Like really?
Yeah.
I can't watch reality TV like that anymore. There was a point in time where you went with me. God, remember that?
Yeah.
I went and auditioned for
was that HET or
America's Got Talent?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I went and auditioned for that. That was fun. I thought for sure I'd get through that first round.
I did too.
But I didn't. Everybody else thought so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, but I didn't.
That's all right.
But I had fun.
Yeah, I had fun too.
It was a lot of fun.
That was a long day.
It was a long day. And you got to meet my grandparents.
Yeah.
They've actually moved into town.
Have they really?
Yeah, they moved from Charlotte because they're getting older.
Yeah.
And they're getting grandkids here. Uh-huh. And they're, everybody's just getting older, man.
Sure.
They just want them closer. And that way you don't have to drive from Charlotte. They would spend a lot of time.
Great grandkids.
Great grandkids. Yeah, their grandkids are having grandkids. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Exactly.
Shit. Oh my God. Another 10 years we'll sit down and do this again and it'll be the same way. We'll be like, oh my God, London's hopefully not in 10 years.
I hope I see you before 10 years.
I know, right? We'll have to do another one of these. Yeah. Oh, we're already at an hour and a half. That's not bad.
Oh, damn, really?
Yeah. See, time flies. Like, people are like, why are you releasing 2-hour ones? I'm like, because you don't get it. Like, time just flies, man.
You could break it up into halves too. Man.
Yeah, I could. I thought about that. I thought about doing that just to cheat the system so I could get them out on Spotify faster.
Yeah.
I thought about breaking the first one up into 2 and breaking this one up into 2. That way I'd have 4 and I could just go up with that and then doing it. But I was like,
it's hard to listen to 2 hours at one time.
It is, but it's more. I think this long form is more meant to just throw it on, listen to it on your way to work.
Sure.
Go to work. On your way home, throw it back on, pick back up in the conversation. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just like you're more like a fly audiobook. Yeah, like a fucked up audiobook. Yep, pretty much. Yeah. It's just meant to have fun and just be out here and just do it.
That's awesome. No, I love it. I absolutely love it. And it's fun so far. So don't fuck it up.
I'm not trying not to. I'm trying not to fuck it up. One of the best compliments I got, and I'll shout him out. His name's Corey. He was like, "Dude, you just felt genuine."
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know how many times I've actually, because I'm really insecure. So I'll read something that's good for me 1,000 times, but I won't remember it. But the things that are bad will always stick with you.
Always, man.
You know what I mean? So I always try, like I said, trying to move forward, trying to be better. I've read that text I don't know how many times, but it just makes you feel good about what you're doing. Even if one person's like, "Hey, dude, that was really good. I really enjoyed it. You sounded really genuine in there. You got something. Keep going." So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna keep going.
You're like Delilah.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
For a podcast. You know who Delilah is?
Delilah? Oh, I might just be lost.
Radio Delilah. She does the.
Okay, I've heard of, but I have not.
Now you're gonna have to Google it.
Now I'm gonna have to go Google it and listen.
That's right.
And do all that.
Jen used to listen to that shit all the time, but now we have satellite. So
yeah, satellite radio. Dude, I haven't radio even when working, or because Mike, but working in radio was weird. Like it almost felt like you were working for a dying art form.
I could see that.
It felt like you were like, I'm on the tail end of this. You can see where the heyday was because you can still see some of the Coke stains on some of the tables and like butt prints on windows. But it's not that anymore. It's definitely changed into basically just a corporate thing. Just money is all it is. Just a way to get money. So I've switched from listening to the radio, which is something I was passionate about at one time and gave a lot of effort to just listening to Spotify and podcasts. Mostly is all I listen to. And I'll get on Spotify and throw on music. I'll throw on new music. They have like a new music release radar every Friday. I'll go on there, get on there every Friday and listen to new songs.
Right.
Just try and stay current.
It's just for me now, it's a 20-minute drive to work. I basically try to get caught up on as much news as I can without getting pissed off.
Yeah.
But of course, that does probably raise my blood pressure on the way to work.
It does.
But that's really. And then on the way home, I'll listen to it used to be Backspin, now it's Rock the Bells. But just like old school rap, because I'm kind of going back to my roots.
Yeah, man. I do that too.
Yeah,
I'll go back and I'll throw on like a nostalgic, like a 90s playlist, like a 90s love songs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Mariah Carey's Fantasy comes on. I'm like, sweet, sweet fantasy, baby.
Yeah, I could see that.
It'll go from that to like Third Eye Blind. And then, I don't know, every now and again I'll throw on that classic rock playlist and I'll listen to that. It just really just depends on what mood I'm in that day.
Me too.
Or however I wake up. If I wake up in a crap mood, I'm like, this doesn't need to follow me today. So let me listen to something that's going to pick
Katrina
up my
and the
spirits.
Waves.
Say what?
Katrina and the Waves.
Yeah.
Walking on Sunshine.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'll throw on something good.
What was your first concert?
Alan Jackson.
That was your first concert?
Alan Jackson was my first concert.
Wow.
I don't remember who opened for him, but that was my first concert. My second concert was Aerosmith on the 9 Lives tour. So that was really cool.
That's like a big stadium type tour.
That's like I went to the same place that I watched Alan Jackson. It was Walnut Creek at the time, but it was Aerosmith, the 9 Lives tour. And that was when Steven Tyler was still able to do backflips on stage. And that was in 97.
Right.
Yeah. So, because I remember I was in 7th grade. I remember feeling like such a badass because my stepdad at the time, he, which I don't know if I told you whether or not, but he passed away.
No, I didn't hear
Yeah,
that.
John, I'll tell you about it in a minute. But he had this Aerosmith jacket that he had when he was younger, and it had this leather jacket, had Aerosmith patch on the back, and it had the chain, like literal chain links, like sewn into the leather, like underneath there. I thought it was just so cool with that, and it had the 9 Lives Torch T-shirt on that he bought me. Just feeling like so cool and like I belonged.
That is awesome, yeah.
But as a young kid, that's what you want.
No,
you want to have that feeling. He was able to give that to me, but him and my mom had their differences. They split up, and my mom remarried, and but she remarried a guy she used to date back in high school, which they met, and his wife actually had passed away a couple years prior to them meeting up again. But my mom was in town. Well, no, she was living here. She was living. I don't remember exactly. Anyway, she was here, and she had talked to her friend, and her friend was like, "Hey, there's a reunion going on. You should go check it out." And he was going to go, but then he didn't want to. But somebody was like, "You need to go." But it was up at O'Malley's up there on Glenwood. And they walk in and reconnected, and the next thing I know, like, my mom's like, "Hey, I'm moving to High Point, and we're going to get married." And I'm like, what? I don't know this guy. But he's the guy who got me that bike.
Did he really?
Yeah,
That's
dude.
awesome.
And that's not what makes him awesome. You know what I mean? Like,
no,
I never got those kind of things. Like, people come over now, they're like, "Man, that's a nice bike." I'm like, "Yeah, it was actually a gift." And like, if you don't know me, that's not me. That hasn't been my life. You know what I mean? Like, this is just really seriously recent. Like, he got me that in February for my birthday. Because he had a bike, and then he was like, because I never rode really.
Sure.
And he was like, "Do you ride?" I'm like, "I have, but I don't have a bike." And I'd built a bike at that time, but I'd sold it and didn't have it. And so he had gotten a bike, and he was like, "It's my bike, but you can keep it, you can ride it." And I had that for like a year, maybe a year and a half. Sure. I kept it here, and I would drive it. And then he was like, "Hey man, I need you to bring that bike back up. I think I'm going to sell it." I'm like, "Okay, no problem. It's not mine." I wasn't worried about it at all. Right. I had my fun on it. I was like, that's how I was thinking. My time is done. It's fine, whatever. Yeah. And then he pulls his bike out and he goes, "Hey, happy birthday." And I'm like, holy shit. And so I'm like, all right. So now I'll go from riding like a wide glide that's real skinny to this Road King, which is nice and stretched out, and fucking like riding a lazy boy down the highway. Got a radio on it,
that's awesome.
Saddlebags. It's all solid color. If you see the side, it doesn't say Road King. It says Road Kill. Yeah, there's a little custom stuff on there that I like. There's other stuff I want to take off, but I love it, man. It's been really nice. But so my mom met him, but John, he got cancer, and he passed away within like 3 months. He got it, and I remember hearing about him getting it, and I went over and talked to him. He was like, "Dude," he's just like, "I wasn't feeling well one time, and I went to the doctor. They told me I had cancer, and next thing you know, like, I'm sitting here, and I've been losing weight." And he's like, he was like, the treatment just feels like he's like, I feel like I'm storming the beach in Normandy and just getting shot up with bullets. He's like, every which direction, there's just shooting pain going through me all over the place. And he's like, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to hold on. I'm like, man, this is sad. But John being John just was just his normal, tried to be his normal self at the same time. And part of me felt bad because I had let John go prior to that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I didn't grieve like I feel like I should have,
mm-hmm.
but I don't regret how I grieved.
Sure.
You know, like I don't look back going, man, I wish I was more sad about it, you know, but it's just a weird feeling. And that's just part of me in my life because I've moved around so much and had to let people in and cut people out so often that I find it kind of easy to cut people out and not think about them ever again.
Right.
So you're here and I haven't talked to you in a long time. So I care about you.
Cut me out.
I didn't cut you out. But it was just a weird feeling being at his funeral and, not feeling like this overwhelming feeling of sadness.
Sure.
It's just, I'd never been to a funeral like that where it was like, oh, I didn't feel sad. And then John,
mm-hmm.
Before his funeral was the first one I ever felt angry at.
Really?
Yeah. Because it wasn't what he wanted.
Yeah. That could have been prevented.
Oh, 100% could have been prevented. Yeah. He was in total control of that.
Yep.
But also I was upset because it wasn't, his final wishes weren't kept.
Right.
You know, regardless of how he went out, he didn't want to be where he is now.
Sure.
He didn't want to be in the ground out there.
Nope.
It's not what he wanted.
No, I know.
So
that's what somebody else wanted in his life.
Yeah, that's what somebody else wanted, and then what was easy for them at the time. And I'd never been to a funeral where I didn't feel like the grieving process and then being able to let go and not feel some sort of sense of relief after the funeral. And John's was the first one, and then my stepdad John was the second one. I'm left feeling that way, but I didn't feel my stepdad John. I didn't feel like angry afterwards.
So, and I'm sure this is going to change throughout my life, but I've only been to one funeral where I truly felt something, and I don't know if it was my first funeral, and I don't know if it desensitized me to every other funeral that I've been to since then. Because I've known a lot of people that pass away.
Yeah.
But yeah, losing Pam, Lane's mother, you know, at such a young age, and becoming a single father and not knowing really, you know, at 20 years old, what the hell I'm going to do with my life and how am I going to raise my son.
So how old was Lane when Pam passed?
A year and a half.
So, man, that's got to be tough for Lane too. I mean, I know it's tough for you, but I mean, yeah, on a kid, he might not remember, but that bond is created.
It is.
And that's got to be a tough thing for you to kind of deal with afterwards.
It is. And, you know, so in hindsight, I feel like that was probably, if something that tragic has to happen to a child to lose their mother, I feel like that's a good age to do it. And the reason why I say that is because you do have a little bit of time to bond, but you don't necessarily have that I can't say unbreakable bond, but you have the opportunity to make a bond with somebody else.
Right.
And that's what he did. I couldn't have had a horseshoe farther up my ass than I did, you know. And it was a weird situation just because I met Jen so quickly afterwards.
I was about to ask you how long was that gap afterwards?
It's like 6 months,
okay.
You know, and I had been with Pam for 3 years. So, and
a year and a half of that was with a kid.
Yeah, exactly.
And the other 9 months of it with carrying child.
So, basically, yeah. Well, 7 months, but yeah. But because he is premature. And that's another story. But
my niece is premature.
And had to, you know, it's like we found out that Pam was pregnant at 5 months because she was small, and then Lane was small, and it's like, oh yeah, I missed my period, and it's like, well, let's go to the doctor. Oh yeah, I'm pregnant. Then 2 months later, I'm a dad. You know, it's like, holy shit. Yeah, exactly.
Wow. No, I had like 8 months to prep.
No,
for me,
I
had a couple months where it was just a secret that I didn't tell anybody.
Yeah,
because you wait till after the first trimester.
No, it was like out of the freaking blue, but. You know, and then, everything that happened surrounding that, and then, you know, me kind of losing my way again, you know, me being the fuck up that I was, but, you know, losing my way. You were a young dad. Yeah. And I was getting as much help as I possibly could from Pam's parents, and then that's a completely different situation, and, you know, finally getting him back after I got my life together, and, you know, just being reluctant to introduce Lane to Jen because of everything that we had both just gone through.
Yeah.
And
I mean, here he is.
Yeah.
Young kid.
Yep.
Now he's what, about 2?
Yeah.
When you were going to introduce him? He's about 2?
Around that area.
Yeah, he's almost 2. He's probably like, what the heck's going on? He's bounced around a little bit.
Yep.
And now here is this lady.
Yep. And she just took to him like water to a duck. Is that a saying?
Yeah, duck to water.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, I mean, I think honestly, if it were just me, I don't think we'd be together. But it was a package deal that sealed it, I think. Yeah. And and just how he embraced. I mean, like when you hear kids like go through like a step parent type situation.
Oh, I've been there.
Yeah, it's like you're not my mom. You're not
yep.
my, he had never. I mean, he was actually more of an asshole to me than he has been.
I remember him being an asshole.
Yeah. Than he was ever to Jen, and I think it's because he kind of knew that
here's a person who didn't have to.
Yeah.
But they made that decision to.
Yep.
And she has never waned from that decision.
Never. And she's probably I mean, like I said, I couldn't be more lucky.
Oh, it takes a special person to be able to step up into somebody else's life and raise a child that they had nothing to do with bringing into the world, and not just to raise it, but to actually love it to the level that she loves Lane. I know she does. I mean, it's like if you never would have said it, it would have just almost been like, he looks a lot like you, but you guys could have adopted. Right, you know what I mean?
Right,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, it's just, I don't know. I love Jen to death. She's a great person.
She is, and we had a discussion a long time ago, and probably more recently within the last 5 or 6 years about having another kid, and she's like, why I've already had one. You know, just because I don't have the stretch marks to show it doesn't mean that he's not mine 100%.
Yeah, be happy you don't have the stretch marks. I got stretch marks and I didn't have the kids physically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got those sympathy ones.
But I mean, Jen is...
For being honest, I had them before we had kids.
Oh, that's funny. I got stretch marks in other places.
Yeah?
Yeah. Between my legs.
Oh, yeah. 13. Mine didn't stretch. Mine... Do they have shrink marks? Is that the wrinkles? I guess that's what it's called, right? Shit just gives up.
Oh, man. But no, I mean, those are just like little things. It's, yeah.
So that's crazy though, man. I didn't realize it was all like that. I didn't realize you met Jen that fast afterwards.
Yeah.
And then she just accepts him, and you guys just did you move to Wendell then? Were you living in Wendell then, or?
So I was living with Pam, obviously, because we had just moved back from New York City for a while and living with her parents, and I was working at IBM third shift. And just one day, Pam got sick, and that was it, basically.
Yeah.
Like within 48 hours, it was
what?
It was meningitis.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So like really out of the blue, done. And I didn't stay at that house. I don't think another night after we had to take her off life support. I don't think I stayed there another night.
I couldn't only imagine. Like I think about that because it's just shit you think about.
Yeah. Well, that was the very first person I had known that passed away. I still had 2 of my great grandparents that I've ever known. All of my grandparents that I've ever known. None of my friends. Nobody. She was the very first person I know that passed away. So I'd never been experienced. So
this person that you'd fallen in love with, well, I hope to think you've fallen in love with at that time. Yeah. But a person that you've fallen in love with, and you've created a life, and you've brought this life into the world, and now that person's the first person that you've ever experienced. To lose, that's got to be tough. That was probably a lot on a 20-year-old.
And I think that's probably
21-year-old.
I think that's why I was 20. Yeah, and that's why I was I think desensitized.
Yeah, that'll desensitize you pretty quick. Make you grow up.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I have a lot of empathy for people.
Yeah.
And I'm like I said, I'm not even going to utter the words, but I know it will happen again at some point that I'll hurt.
Yeah.
But I feel like now, when I go to funerals or I deal with death, I'm the stronger person for the other people.
Yeah, I feel like that too. I feel like I've experienced this enough. Like I know how to deal with it, and I know that everybody deals with it in their own way. Yep. And you got to know that when you approach somebody to talk to them about it too. Like, don't expect. If you go in there expecting one thing and they give you something else, you're going to be disappointed. Right. Just go in there open minded, because everybody's different. They could completely shut you out, tell you to fuck off, and you just got to be okay with that. And
that's when you say, you know what, I absolutely understand. I'm here when you need me.
Yep. Hit me up when you're ready.
Yep.
So, but yeah, man.
I know.
Getting dark. Getting
know,
deep
man.
up in this
It's
bitch.
like I opened up a couple of layers. I have so many more.
Oh, man. That's why I love these things. We'll definitely do another one. I told everybody I'm bringing on, I'm probably going to have them on a couple times just to get shit going anyway.
Sure.
And these are all people I enjoy talking to.
We haven't talked about my teen years yet.
We haven't really touched on a whole lot about.
No,
we just kind of glazed over a few
Actually, we
things.
talked about a lot of awesome stuff, though. Just a lot of just life and just, I hope, trying to be a better person. And
Dude, that's what this whole thing is about. Is just finding out. Nobody knows who they are.
Mm-mm.
And by the time you figure it out, it's too late.
Yep.
If you're able to figure it out, good for you, man. If you're able to figure that out, figure it out. Get out there and be the best you can be. But I'm still trying to find that person,
me too.
you know. And every day is just a step closer.
Yep, I agree.
Chisel away at it.
Yep.
So, Max, it's been fun.
Brandon,
I think we'll call it.
always, man.
We'll definitely do it
I'll
again.
always be here for you and to do this too.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Oh, baby.
Oh,
Hey,
I missed
girl.
you.
I missed you too.
Yay. So, yeah, man. That's So, there you go. Another episode of the Bearded Goods podcast is in the books. I want to thank you guys so much for listening. I want to thank my guest today, Max Foell, for coming out. Again, just one of the most genuine guys I've ever met. And I can't wait to see where the next 10 years of our friendship's going to land us. Again, thank you very much. Don't forget to hit me up on that hotline if you get a chance, 919-521-8935. Leave a message. We'll see if we can get you on. Anyway, thanks again for listening. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. We'll catch you guys again next time.